Do not adjust your sets. This is actually true. I am at the Didcot Railway Center. This is no green screen, nothing. I'm coming on the footplate of this Iron Duke, which is a replica dated, I think, from 1985. Now, we are going to be visiting the Didcot Railway Centre today. But first, before I tell you the whole plan, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched Simon Train's walking journeys, railway journeys throughout this pandemic at the moment. So I want to thank every single person who has watched my blogs. Now today we are visiting the Didcot Railway Centre. We're in this wonderful transfer shed, and also we'll be filming at one station only today. Didcot Parkway. That's right, we're filming at Didcot Parkway because while I'm down here I might as well film the station. So before we start the adventure, there is one thing missing that I haven't put in, and that's the intro. So this is the new Simon Train's 2020 intro to the video. Hope you enjoy, and hopefully enjoy this vlog today. Hello, my name is Simon, and I'm a rail enthusiast to the town of Rugeley in Staffordshire. And I also use the railway to travel around the country. These are my journeys across the United Kingdom by the Iron Rails, which sometimes can be very successful or end up in a disaster. The blog now approaching this YouTube channel is the next Simon Train's railway journey, and I welcome you to this service. So please sit back and enjoy the adventure. Well, I honestly thought I'd never see this day today. For the first time since the 23rd of March 2020, I'm actually travelling on the train today for leisure purposes. Now, I know what you're thinking, it is the 4th of July today. Happy Independence Day for anyone who watches this in America. Well, the pubs are reopened today on the 4th of July. So if the pubs have reopened and it's the mainly leisure activity that people like to do, surely going around the country filming trains is also accepted today. But we're going to see how that goes, because I am planning to go to the Didcot Railway Centre today. That's the main plan. But also I'm going to try and get Didcot Parkway Station filmed as well. I was hoping to try and get Banbury filmed, but unfortunately what CrossCountry told me on my ticket and what's actually happened is two different things, which I'll explain in a second. But I have considered all options to get to Didcot, which is the government's advice, and I will read these out now. If I go by car, it's 103 miles from here to Didcot Parkway. Now it will take you 1 hour and 51 minutes, which is the quickest option, but unfortunately I don't have a car, I don't drive. Now I have considered walking it down there, which is 94.8 miles, nearly 95 miles, and that will take you 31 hours. And also if I wanted to cycle down there, it was going to take me about 108 miles, and it was going to take me 9 hours and 33 minutes. Unfortunately I don't have a bike, so travelling to Didcot by train is the only way I could do this. So even though it's a leisure purpose activity I'm doing today, yes, unfortunately it's a necessary journey because there's no way else getting to the Didcot Railway Centre. And if I get the buses, I think I'm going to be all day changing buses to get there. So our first train that we are going to take is the 7:24 to Birmingham International. Now for some strange reason, CrossCountry had me booked on the 0750 to Birmingham International. But unfortunately it's only an hour's service on the Chase line still at the moment. So we are waiting for the 0724 now, and it should be arriving very shortly. nice to see Headsford again. I have not seen Headsford for God knows how long. But yes, unfortunately you still have to wear face masks on the train. It is mandatory, compulsory. And also, just to be safe, I also got some hand sanitizer on me as well. Got this for Asda for one pound 50, 25 or 50, something like that. It was very cheap. Now, also there's certain things that you cannot do on the ride of the trains. Unfortunately, Transport for Wales have stated that their train journeys are still for essential people only. So you cannot go into Wales for leisure purposes. And you cannot go to Leicester because that is on local lockdown. And also, South Wigston Station is also in that lockdown area, so you can't go to them two railway stations. Just approaching Cannock now. This is one place that I have not seen for a long time and wish to go to see for a long time. I've now come to Livery Street in Birmingham. Now I'll explain why I'm here in a minute, but I need to get out of Birmingham New Street station because, to be honest, when I was at the railway station it was absolutely sweating on the train, so I'd just come out to get some fresh air. But the reason about Livery Street is because Birmingham Snow Hill Station is just behind me here. Now I've come to this location because right here is original part of Birmingham Snow Hill Railway Station which still survives. So we're just going to have a quick look at that before I head back to Birmingham New Street to catch the 0904 to Bournemouth, which I'll be getting off at Oxford. now on Rugeley Road in Oxford. Now I've come to this part here because the stable close is just down here. But if you look here, there's a dead end. And where that dead end is used to be the platform that started for Oxford Rugeley Road Station. It's spelled R-E-W-L-E-Y. Just going to do a brief history of this and then we'll go back to the other Oxford Railway Station. As you can see in front of you, this is where the platform used to start at Oxford Rugeley Road Station. Now this was opened on the 21st of May 1851 by the Birmingham Railway. The station was built on Rugeley Abbey. However though, Rugeley Road Station closed to passengers on the 1st of October 1951. The station building to Oxford Rugeley Road was sited here, which is now the said Business School, University of Oxford. Now the station building actually moved to the Birmingham Railway Center. Also, Oxford Rugeley Road Station was actually sited right next door to the current Oxford Railway Station, which is just behind those trees. I'm going to head there now. Now on the 1106 Didcot Parkway, which is called at Radley and Cullen. Now, as of many other TOCs, face masks are still compulsory on services. And also when I'll be filming at Didcot Parkway station later on, I have to wear the face mask while I'm filming the trains. Because it is mandatory at some railway stations as well. If I went to Radley and filmed at Radley, I probably would have got away without a face mask, but Didcot Parkway staff station, so you've got to wear a face mask or face covering. So we're going to be there just before 11:30. We've got half an hour to kill before my entry into the Didcot Railway Centre, because unfortunately you had to book these with an e-ticket. These were booked in advance. Can't just show up a day because of limited spacing. Open space of the station, I've still got to wear the face covering. So I think it is mandatory on Great Western Railway platforms for the staffed ones anyway. There is a few train spotter rail enthusiasts around. Mind you, one doesn't actually wear a mask, so I might be alright, but I'll wear it just in case. get confronted and all that. Didcot Railway Centre is just over that direction there. I'll show you how to get to that in a minute. Because I had plans to film at Didcot Railway Station first, then I was going to go to the Railway Centre, but that wasn't the case because apparently they had had a train ticket booked for the 10:37 to Didcot, but they're only running an hourly service, so I only get the train out 6 minutes past from Oxford to Didcot, so that's why I'm not filming now, but I will be filming later on. So before we go to the Didcot Railway Centre, we're just going to do the history of Didcot Parkway Station first. Didcot Parkway opened as Didcot on the 12th of June 1844 by the Great Western Railway, but the railway line ran through here since the 1840. The station opened on the same day as the Didcot to Oxford line was open. On the 12th of April 1882, the Didcot, Livery and Southampton Railway was open to traffic, but the line closed to passengers on the 10th of September 1962 and to freight in 1967. And this had a bay platform at the east end of today's Platform 1. The 7th of September 1964, local passenger services between Didcot and Swindon were withdrawn, and the following stations, Steventon, Wantage Road, Challow, Uffington, Shriverham and Stratton Park were closed. Now we fast forward to 1985, when a new main building with 600 space car park was opened for park and ride use. These were opened on the 29th of July 1985 by David Mitchell MP, and on that date the station was renamed to Didcot Parkway. And in 2018 a new multi-storey car park was opened, costing 20 million, and increased the number of spaces by 65% to 1,800 parking spaces at this station. Now to get to the Didcot Railway Centre is pretty simple. All you've got to do is go down these stairs. You're not going to go right, because that's what it wants me to do. So all you've got to do is go down these stairs. We're on platforms 4 and 5. And all you do is turn right, and then Didcot Railway Centre is this way. Just up here. There you go, that's how you get to the Didcot Railway Centre. And just like that, we're actually at the Didcot Railway Centre. So we've been told to keep to the past. There is certain things that are open and shut, but we'll talk about some of the stuff here while we're here as well, like the engine shed and so on. So let's have a look at a few Great Western Railway locomotives. This locomotive right here is a Great Western Railway Saint class. Now this is 2999, Lady of Legend. Now this was supposed to be at the Severn Valley Railway Spring Steam Gala in April, but because of COVID and all that they had to cancel it, which was a shame really, because I was actually looking forward to a ride behind the Saint class. But anyway, it's here, got a good photo and video of it, so it's a good day at the moment, even though I've been here for a few minutes. Behind me here is a very unique locomotive. Now this is a gas turbine electric locomotive, 18000 Kerosene Castle. This was built by Brown Barotti in Switzerland. Now over this side here is a 4300 class on the turntable. This is 5322 and was built in Swindon. Now I'm going to explain a bit about the turntable because this is the original site of a turntable, but it's not actually the original turntable. Excuse the 4300 class. Now the site of the turntable does date back to 1932, but however, this is not the original turntable, this is a replacement turntable. The original turntable was removed by British Rail before the Great Western Society moved in. The turntable was roughly about 70 feet long. Now we're looking at Didcot sheds. Now these actually date from the original in 1932, but before we go into that, in the 1800s there was a broad gauge shed which was built on the present day site. But it wasn't until 1932 when the sheds were rebuilt and had a full track layout, providing 200 feet or 60 metres of covered space. When opened it had the shed code DID, but it ended up taking the shed code 81E. The sheds closed in June 1965, but the Great Western Society moved into Didcot Locomotive Depot in 1967. Now the site is actually still leased from Network Rail. Just in the vintage carriage bay now, just have a look at some of these old coaches that were belonging to the Great Western Railway. Now they do look quite good actually. This one right here is a special saloon car number 9002, and the interior inside this is absolutely amazing. I'll show you the quick interior inside this one and then we're going to carry on. What you see in front of you is actually quite unique. Now this is Bruno's atmospheric railway. Well, this is a little part of it anyway. Now how this worked was the system compromised stationary pumping engines creating a particle vacuum in pipes, as you can see in the middle of the track, laid between the rails. The pipe was sealed by valves at each end and a metal strip hinged by lever along the length of the slot. The particle vacuum allowed the pistons attached to the carriage to be propelled by the great pressure of the atmospheric behind. Now this system only lasted 7 months. Wasn't very successful indeed, but that's what it looked like. Behind me here is what they call the transfer shed. Now these sheds were actually built to transfer people and goods off standard gauge locomotives onto broad gauge locomotives and vice versa. And I think this one was based just west of Didcot, and it's looking at supplies today at the Didcot Railway Center. There's even a Great Western Railway broad gauge locomotive in there, which is Firefly. I think that was a replica, was built in 2005. We'll just have a quick look inside this transfer shed now because it is absolutely wonderful. I honestly thought I'd never get this close to broad gauge, but as you can see, look how wide it is. The broad gauge is this line here and this line here. This line here is for standard gauge. This is 4 foot 8.5, and the broad gauge is 7 feet. It's just so wide indeed, it's unbelievable. But honestly, I never thought the day I see broad gauge this up close in person. I've seen it from the platform because the transfer shed's just down there, but I honestly never thought I'd be actually walking on broad gauge track. This is quite remarkable, this is. You can even see from this point here how complicated standard gauge and broad gauge was at the junctions. And honestly, it's just absolutely crazy back in the day. Unfortunately, broad gauge did die out in 1892 and standard gauge was just throughout the Great Western Railway network. But some of the Great Western Railway network had standard gauge in before 1892. There was just a fair bit of areas that were still broad gauge by then. This is one of the 4 platforms they have at the Didcot Railway Center. One of them is actually the transfer shed, which we've just been in. This is named Oxford Road, but it's just a small station. It's just the so the demonstrating locomotives that run up and down this small stretch of line can just shuttle back and forth between 2 railway stations. It's not that long. I think it's just about 25 chains. I'm not too sure. It might be a bit less than that actually. But this is Oxford Road. I don't know which station this could come from, or they've built it, whatever. But it's just nice to have a quick look at it. It honestly does feel like I've travelled back in time. Now we're in the engine shed. We're just going to have a quick look at what's in here. Behind me here is a Great Western Railway Castle class. That's 5051 Driscoll Castle. Here is a Great Western Railway modified hall, 6998 Burton Agnes Hall. Right here is a Great Western Railway hall class, 5900 Hinderton Hall. Just right here, this next locomotive, this is a Great Western Railway 61XX, 6106 I think it is. Just right down here is a Great Western Railway 4575 class, which is numbered 5572. Over here is a Class 14 diesel locomotive, a Teddy Bear, which surprisingly Didcot Railway Centre has one. Behind me now is a 2884 class, which is numbered 3822. And behind me here is a Great Western Railway 56XX or 5600 class, which is 6697. Now there is one more locomotive missing. If you want to know where Pendennis Castle is, it's in the workshops. It's actually not in the complete area. It's actually got the boiler off and all that. But there is one locomotive that I have forgot to mention, which is just over here, which you will see in a second, which you just see him there, the Great Western Railway King class 6023 King Edward II. Possibly the strangest thing I've seen at the Didcot Railway Centre, a Caledonian sleeper railway carriage. Believe it or not. Just look out of place here, to be honest. Behind me here, this big building is a coaling stage. Now what they usually do is that they used to bring some trucks up this steep ramp here, and the trucks go into here, they empty the coal out, but the coal is actually used to fill the locomotive tenders up. So I think there's a coaling drop there, and it drops the coal into the tender. would be nice if there was a locomotive there to show you, but unfortunately they put a brake band there. The top of this coaling stage is also a water tower, so they could water the locomotives while they're coaling them as well, which is a nice feature they got here. It's now ended my day at the Didcot Railway Center. It has been a good day. We've been here just under 3 hours, having a look around. There was no trains running, which we expected, but this is basically their open air disco weekend. They do have more dates on their website. I'd like to thank the Didcot Railway Centre for reopening and allowing people to have a look around during these difficult times. I'd also like to say hello to the White Wicks. I did bump into them at the Didcot Railway Centre. Their link to their channel is just up the corner now. But if you want to get entry to the Didcot Railway Centre, it's only e-ticket only, I'm afraid, which is basically I'll print it off and bring it with you. And they give you times of entries and all that. So I'm going to head back to Didcot Railway Station now to do some filming at the railway station before I head back up north. So my filming is now done at Didcot Parkway. The Class 387 that departed, the 1638 to London Paddington, was the last train to film. Now the next train to leave is actually this Class 165, which is behind me. This is 165114. Now that's going to take me to Oxford, and I've got a quick connection at Oxford to get the cross-country service to Birmingham New Street. But we had roughly a good hour and 20 minutes here filming some cross-country trains, Great Western Railway trains. Okay, yes, it was on a reduced timetable because the cross-countries that go to Reading are only hourly, and they're mainly the Bournemouth services. Usually you get a half an hour service for cross-country from Oxford to Reading, but with the current situation, the current timetable, it's only an hour service. But yes, this is Didcot Parkway. 5 platforms, Great Western Railway Station, and there's nothing else to say. However though, platform 3 is the good spot because if I'll zoom in on this side for a second, you just see there the Oxford and Boyding lines there. So any fast services from Oxford that go to Reading use that line, which is right next door, and it is very handy indeed. Now technically the last train was supposed to be the Freightliner that we got through, which was Churchwood sidings to Stoke Gifford in Bristol. Stoke Gifford is next to Bristol Parkway Station, but that was running a bit early, so we're not getting that now because we've already got it, if you get what I mean. This was filmed before it was supposed to pass. So I'm going to go to platform 4 now to catch my train to Oxford. I'm now at Rugeley Station. Now if you remember last year I actually did a video from Oxford to Didcot celebrating the line. I think it was the 150th years of it. It's not 150th, it's 175. We're just leaving Rugeley now. And as you heard,
is a Great Western Railway service to Oxford.
Are you quite done? Right, she's done. So our next station is Oxford, which will be changing trains onto cross-country. Now, what I have been doing is for this trip is that I've actually been using e-tickets on the phone. I just used them off the cross-country website because I wanted to get the seat reservations the same, because I split ticketed at Banbury, which was very cheap indeed. I think the whole trip was over like £21, something like that, £22. From Rugeley Town to Oxford. I think it was like £30 if you want to, or just a bit over anyway. So we'll be running to Oxford shortly and changing trains for the cross-country service to Birmingham New Street. Now we're just pulling into Oxford now. I like what Great Western Railway have done because they put these exits here on here, which you can't board through here, but you can exit through here. Anyway. just north of Oxford Station, you can notice there's some 387s sitting at the siding. Now these are in the Heathrow Express livery. Excuse the camera shaking as I literally got this zoomed in. Now these are replacing the Class 332s on the Heathrow Express services soon. But they do look nice indeed, actually. I will admit. since this is an open air railway station, I don't have to wear the face covering here. Back at Rugeley Town Railway Station, and today has been a good day indeed. Now we have started at 7:24 in the morning heading down to Birmingham New Street with no problems there. At Birmingham New Street though, I have noticed that you got to exit the platforms on the A side and you got to enter the platforms for the B side. But if you're just changing trains, do go to the B side because it's more easier. The A side, basically got the ticket barriers up on, and there's a pathway that separates them. So if you've got to change to the A side, you've got to go through ticket barriers to go through ticket barriers to go back on the platform. Go on the B side, you're fine. But anyway, exit from the A side and entrance of the B side at Birmingham New Street. Then we caught the 0904 to Bournemouth, got off at Oxford, no problems there. And then we caught the 1106 to Didcot. Before we did that though, we did stop off and saw Oxford Rugeley Road Station. Was it Rugeley? Rugeley, I think. If I do pronounce that, I do apologise. But anyway, we went to the Didcot Railway Center, had a good time there, seen a lot of Great Western Railway steam locomotives. We even bumped into the White Wicks, which was brilliant. And it was a pleasure to meet them as well. They had their own video to do as well, so if their video is up before this one, I'll just link it there. If not, I'll just add it in later on. After Didcot Railway Centre, went over to Didcot Parkway to do some filming, no problems there. And what I did during the filming was I did wear the face covering just in case. And there was no issue at all. To be honest, filming at some of these railway stations, all you have to do is be sensible, respect the social distancing and you're fine. And probably wear the face covers at the staff stations. And then went back up to Oxford, we changed trains there, went back to Birmingham New Street, changed trains there. Birmingham New Street was 221128 and this was, that I just got off on, was 2H75 to 1910 from Birmingham New Street to, well it actually started at Birmingham International, but I got at Birmingham New Street to Rugeley Trent Valley, which I got off from Rugeley Town. Didn't film it coming in because it did catch me by surprise a little bit. But anyway, that's basically the day done. So, next adventure, don't know when it is, it will be another railway journey. Same time on a Sunday, but I edit and film it during the week. So, the blog has now reached its final destination at Rugeley Town Railway Station. So, the blog has now been terminated. Thank you for travelling with Siren Trains. As I mentioned at the start of the video, thank you very much indeed for keep watching my videos during this pandemic. So stay safe and we'll see you on the next adventure.